Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sane Minds. Now, I know that the buzz this week, what everyone's been talking about or arguing about, has been the Trump and Putin meeting in Helsinki over in Finland, right? So, people on the left are upset and trying to say that Trump's treasonous for meeting with Putin. He is, he's against America's interest and he's Putin's puppet. This has been told time and time again on the left in the mainstream media. This is the narrative that they're pushing. That Trump's treasonous, that Trump betrayed us as Americans. Here's a picture here of him accepting a soccer ball in America, or football if you're from the rest of the world, and this is treasonous. Two leaders, the two largest nuclear powers in the world, as Trump has said before, 90% of all nuclear weapons are either controlled by the United States or by Russia, which is the main successor state from the Soviet Union. So they kept the nuclear weapons. Now, Obama has done this before. Trump is not the first U.S. president to meet with Putin, certainly, and then also to have private conversations with him. This has happened with Obama. So when people try and say that Trump's done something totally different and this is why it's wrong, they're lying or they just don't know. They're not telling you the truth either way. Because this has been done before. And I didn't see the left freaking out when when Obama and Putin have met together back when Obama was in office. Of course not. But this isn't something new. And people talk about Russia hacking our election or whatever. That's not true either. They didn't hack a ballot box and stuff it and make, someone get elected like Trump. They didn't do that. At best, what they did was just figure out certain people and then maybe put out fake articles to influence people. How many times has America done something like that in another country? How many times? I'm sure Russia had something to do with Obama's election too. They're a foreign power that is, in a lot of ways, hostile to us. Especially before, like Trump said, with the relationship he's trying to build with Putin now, they haven't been our best friends. The same thing of China. I'm sure China has ads that they took out to try and influence their interests as well. And I did research into a lot of the ads that Russians have taken out, and guess what? They wanted to just create chaos. It wasn't about, supporting Trump. They had things that supported Hillary, and it was lies. They wanted chaos, and they wanted people to not be able to trust the information that's out there, basically. And, people are trying to say that Trump is working for Russia's interest, but he told Germany to stop buying as much Russian gas. So how is that good for Russia? That's certainly not good for Russia's economy. One of its major exports is gas. Without that, Russia would not be the country that it is today, rearming, rebuilding their military. That wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for their gas. So how is that going to help Russia? And then also, something new here, Trump is going to give Kiev, Ukraine, the capital of Ukraine, they're going to give the Ukrainians $200 million in defense spending. They've already given them $1 billion since the crisis has stirred up in Ukraine with the rebel groups there and then also the groups that are supported by Russia. How is that good for Russia? How is giving the Ukrainians the ability to have better weapons, better armor, supplying themselves, how is that going to be good for Russia? If this is a president that is working in Putin's interest, how is that in his interest? Simply, it's not. You're being lied to. So, how is Trump helping Russia? I haven't seen anything yet, besides that he is reaching out with his hand to have talks, something that, people on the left and especially the Democrats that are in control of the party don't want us to do. They don't want us talking to Putin. They don't want us talking, to Kim Jong-un. And before they did. That's the funny part. They can't seem to stick to a narrative. It's either Trump's going to start World War III because he's talking bad about Kim Jong-un or he's talking bad about Putin or whoever. And instead, when he reaches out there and actually tries to broker peace and broker some sort of deal, because that is what he is. He's a deal maker. They want to shout him down and say that he's treasonous and, oh, he's just warming up to all of the, strongmen, all of the authoritarian regimes. He's warming up to all of them. But then they don't say anything about China, the largest authoritarian regime, one who hurts us directly with trade by how they manipulate their currency to keep it artificially low so that when people from here buy their products, it's cheaper. And half the time, the government there subsidizes their, Chinese products so that it is cheaper. And instead, what do we have here? We have tariffs on our products, and we're not able to compete that way. It's not just because of wage gap or, we pay American workers more. That's not what it just is. It's because of these types of trading practices that put us at a disadvantage. And Trump has had enough of that, and so have I. And many people that I know. And I know people on both sides, too. So that's something to think about. But I don't see how Trump's helping Putin at all. If you can give me some hard facts of that, but nothing that he's doing on the world stage is showing that he supports him. Now, are there ways for them to work together? Like when they tried, when we worked together in terms of airstrikes in Syria together, that we'd give them a heads up, they'd give us a heads up when something like that was happening? Of course. Why wouldn't we? Otherwise, that's how we're going to have miscommunication. That's how wars actually start in a lot of cases, One side thinks the other's doing something that they're not. So, it really upsets me to see that people would rather us go to war just to prove Trump wrong. Because I feel that, and I've just like, other stories from CNN or wherever, they talk about how it'd be better if, the economy collapsed, because then at least there'd be something to blame Trump for, right? Something can actually point to, and that isn't just hearsay. But alright guys, I just wanted to get you guys another video, let you know what's going on and my input on what happened at the Helsinki meeting and just the whole narrative around that, because I can't stand reading, which, like I said before, I read the news daily, and it really upsets me to see just the narrative they push, because I know how many people not reading the entire article, not keeping up with it, just because of daily life, they're going to believe it. So I'm trying to do my part to let people know the truth behind it all. But thank you again for listening. And if you listen to this point, please like or subscribe. It helps a small channel like mine. I'm really trying to come out with more content. A lot of times work really, gets in the way, especially if the heat nowadays. It's hot this summer. So if you guys want some new content, please like and subscribe. And as always, I appreciate it. Thank you.